Well, the pressure is well and truly on ahead of two huge games in this episode. If we lose them both, well, we're going to end the season trophyless and with a number of dead rubbers. If we win them, the chance at the double is still on. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 144 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. Today, the FM23 edition of this save could be heading towards a grand finale, or could it? It could just be a whimper to end the season. We're 6 points behind Bayern Munich with a game in hand and an identical goal difference. If we win, the goal difference turns back in our favour, the gap will be down to just 3, and with Bayern to come at home on the penultimate day of the season, it could yet be a very dramatic finish to the Bundesliga title race. Nobody else is in the mix or going to win it, but it is a tricky finish for us. Away to Leipzig, Paderborn, who are bottom, but we've had troubles away before, and then at home to Bayern and away to Leverkusen. We've also got the second leg against Bournemouth today in a Champions League semi-final. That draw has really opened up due to both Bayern and Manchester City going out in the quarter-finals. It's a genuine chance for us to win the big one. And after a 3-1 lead in the first leg, a bit against the run of play and a bit against my values in style of play, we were recommended tactical changes from the scout meeting and actually made them for once. And to be fair, they very much worked. So if you're looking forward to seeing if we can replicate that today, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. We've got two huge games which will be defining this season, and it may set up a grand finale in the Bundesliga. Let's have a look at the schedule though to see what got us to this point, because you were with me for the double header against Juve and those two crucial drop points against Augsburg, but the 3 games since have been very good. At home to Duisburg, we won by 5-0, 2 for Olai Zola, 2 for Canales, 1 for Nana Koomson. We got a huge 3-2 win away at Frankfurt late on, thanks to Nana Koomson completing a brace. It's about time he returned to form, by the way, and Lapo got the opener early doors. And then a 3-1 win against Bournemouth after falling behind early to Plitko. It was Canales and a Brewerton brace. The January signing by the director of football was the difference in a Champions League semi-final. So hopefully we can get them today and get to the final. It looks like if we make it, we'll be playing the runaway Italian champions Inter. They're beating Gladbach, who I would much rather have faced, as I'd fancy us to beat them based on what we've seen this year. But Leipzig at home is the immediate focus, and the big problem, well, there's just 3 days between all of these games. Who on earth do we rest? Who on earth do we play? Let's just go and find out. They're 2 huge matches. The focus has got to be on the pitch. We've got no real problems with injury, no real problems with suspension. Nana Koomson has got a knock for this one. Joaquin is suspended for this league game, and Znaiba is not really fit. But otherwise, we've got decisions to make. Let's go and make them. We're playing at home to Leipzig at the end of a Bundesliga weekend. We know that Bayern have already won. We know the pressure is on. And if we lose this game, let's be brutally honest about it, we aren't going to win the title. There is a small chance under pressure that Bayern will drop 2 points somewhere apart from our game, but they're not going to lose to us, drop 3 more and ruin the goal difference as well. We have got to win this game. We have got to keep on their toes. Well, let's see if we can do it. Let's get through to the lineup, as again we failed to sell out the stadium. We struggled against Bournemouth to get a capacity crowd as well. But looking at the team, one recognisable name for them, and it is Tally in holding midfield. He was part of our England squad at various points when we were in charge. He's now in his mid-20s and he's world class. So definitely going to be a threat. They're a good side who are probably underperforming in terms of point total, but maybe they've not got that depth in the squad. So let's get through to the team selection. Most of our first team is fit, but we're going to have to take a few gambles because I mentioned we've not got Joaquin due to suspension. Znaiba can't start. Koomson can't be involved. And it does mean we've had to make a few changes. I've brought Gruznov in on the right-hand side because he's unregistered for the European games. Just makes sense to try and keep the squad as fresh as possible. We've gone for Santos and Scout at midfield too. Sniper is on the bench in an emergency. And Steinker is the man at right back over Aubert. I genuinely can't remember who started in midweek. So this is the 11 in full for today. Elijah Smith in goal. Van der Pluim and Steinker the fullbacks with Enlapo and Merville as centre-half. Santos and Scout the midfield too. If we're going to have a weakness today, that is my worry, to be honest with you. Gruznov on the right wing, Mulder on the left, and Brewerton, the match winner from midweek, behind Louis Canales up front. He's finding form again in performances, but the goals, they've not been flowing for the last 2 months. We could really do with them coming today. Well, here we go. 2 changes for Leipzig. We've had a warning to close down their winger, which we've done, but the rest of the team, it's fairly good without being spectacular. Very good players in defensive areas and out wide. Maybe not got that star striker that other teams have got. Maybe not got that top level goalkeeper. But they are a good team still. And on their day, particularly with us needing 3 or 4 changes in those midfield areas, we could well be under pressure. We're going to get Gruznov to a winger duty. He'll go back to what he normally does. And it's an early corner for Leipzig to the back post, off the post itself. And Mulder clears it behind. Not a good start at all. Leipzig are definitely causing us trouble here. They've got a corner kick again with Ivanovic. This time it will be an outswinger. Into the back post again. Well dealt with by Larpo. Not the best start to the football match. We're under a little bit of pressure early here. The touchline tablet's causing chaos again. What sort of reaction can we get? We've got a Santos free kick into Larpo. Brilliant header from the experienced defender. Good ball in from Santos, but it maybe didn't have the power on it. And Larpo soon changed that. Bullet header over the goalkeeper into the top corner. And it's 1-0 Dortmund. A very important start. You can see from the expected goals, there's not been much here. But we've taken advantage of a half chance. But now, and Larpo at the back, hoping we don't do anything silly here. Merville, big switch of play to Gruznov. Not got much football in the second half of this year. And that is pretty pathetic with a 5-yard pass. Into midfield here. Politano at the back. Tally gets it forward to Ivanovic. Gruznov, fair play, recovers his mistake. Nicks it for Mulder. He can take on his fullback who was caught high up the pitch. Gets himself in. And Giovanni Mulder, in a very important moment, has scored. And we do have to give credit to our director of football. I said we have to take the blame if this goes wrong, because look at today. Mulder has scored a crucial goal here. The 2 in midweek were both Brewerton, who was signed in January. The big signing from each window is delivering, and in the most important moments of our season. It is 2-0, and we're starting to get on top now. We've not had great chances in this game, but we've taken 2 half ones. And in a crucial title race, that's what you need. If we can stay within 3 into the buy-in game, we've got a chance at this. We're going to tell the lads to keep it up. Hopefully we'll do well in the second half. And if we get to the hour mark and score 1 more, I might even rest a few for midweek. Well, 20 minutes gone in the second half. It's been a quiet start to it, but we've got the ball on the right-hand side now with Gruznov. 1 more goal here. We can make those changes. Please let us get a third. Santos chips it over to Gruznov on the right-hand side. Options in the middle if he can find them. Goes back to Scal. In towards Brewerton. Is cleared away. Only as far as Larpo. Back to Scal. Inside to Santos. Options out wide. Mulder's one of them. Brings it down into Canales. Was he onside? I'm not sure he was, you know. If I had to go on instinct, I'd say this is going to be disallowed. We'll wait and see if I'm right. You can see Brewerton, 2 of the defenders, really struggling with fitness as well. The goal's awarded. Now that really helps. Let's go and get these subs on. I'm going to bring on Gaita from Larpo at the back. Van der Plume will switch with Scout to get a rest. And then in midfield, we'll bring on Axel Johansson, the youngster. I'm also looking at Brewerton in attacking midfield. Cardon can come on for him. We'll bring Zola on for Mulder, who's had a great game. And then we'll leave the last one 5 or 10 more minutes. I don't think we need to take a risk now. We can avoid finishing with 10, then brilliant. I'm surprised that counted, but it's 3-0. And Canales, who was having a poor game, just boosts his confidence a little bit again. As Steinke nicks in there. Finds the ball wide. We've got loads of subs for both teams. As Steinke goes back to Gaita, into Santos. Now up to Steinke again. Good ball to Cardon, and Johansson scored that crucial goal against Juve last episode, didn't he? And he set one up this time. Zola is in behind. He scored some big goals off the bench, in fairness to him. He's played a bit part this season, but the bit part has been crucial. And with the likes of Johansson and Zola, we do need to respect that squad effort. Steinke is struggling at right back, so he'll come off in a minute. And that will be the final one today. He gets the ball wide to Gruznov first, though. Steinke into Merville, just waiting to press go on that sub. Aubert will be the man on. Scal over the top to Canales. And of course, what's crucial here, and the reason I want to keep this lead as big as possible, is we're opening up the goal difference. So if we do beat Bayern, or if we draw with them and they lose another game, this is an advantage of 4. If we concede a couple of late silly goals, that goes down to 2. It's a big, big difference going to the end of the year. As Scal gets it at left back here. I'm going to set that change now because we've been going for ages. And then as soon as I do, we lose the ball. My superstition's back. Steinker into Rojas. Now we'll go back and make it again. Over the bar it goes. 15 remaining. I mean, Leipzig, bar the first 15, have been awful. If they had scored that first goal, this would probably be a very different game, as Canales loses the challenge at the back there. I want to be greedy and say, can we get one more? But for now, I just want to avoid conceding. A clean sheet, a 4-0 win. Olaizola nicks it on the left into Canales. It might get better. It's a good save from Ashino. But this is the perfect antidote for the pressure of Bayern's win. To now look at them and say, we cannot afford to lose away at Dortmund, because if they come here and lose to us, well, look at them. They're going to be in a mess because the goal difference is so much better. Can we now get one from this corner? Good save from Canales' shot, who still doesn't look really convincing in front of goal. But the corner kick gives us a chance to make it 5 and really make this an embarrassing day. The fact that we've seen such a long highlight there, with the player going to pick up the ball, I'm hoping means we're going to get a goal. Either that or something weird is happening. Who is taking this corner kick? Card on. What's going on? Has anyone seen this before? What's happening here? He's literally just standing still at the corner flag. Have we broken the game? Gruznov was going off injured. He can do that for 11 minutes more, I don't mind. Up to the back post, Politano away. Canales gets the ball down. Lovely footwork, back to Scal. And it's cleared away. Nothing doing, but with 10 to go, this is what we want to avoid. A Leipzig free kick, headed wide. We keep the clean sheet for now. The goal difference here is paramount. Into 3 minutes of stoppage time. There is no change to the match situation. It is a 4-0 win. The only knock was Gruznov, who can't play in midweek anyway. And now we go to England with a 3-1 advantage to face old foes Bournemouth. And hopefully we can set up defensively again and just hit them on the counter. Back in a minute for that one. But at least we're still in the Bundesliga race. Right then, it's fitness test time. We're coming up against a fierce counter-attacking Bournemouth team that play 2 up front. And as a result, I changed my tactics quite significantly in the first leg. Partly as a result of what happened against Juve, actually. We're going to see if they're setting up the same way today before deciding if we're going to do it. But you might be about to see a little bit of my in-game tactical style here. We don't get to see it too much on camera, but let's go and get to the focus. It is Dortmund away at Bournemouth for a place in the Champions League final. I mean, either way, this is a bit of a surprise, isn't it? But this is an opportunity we can't turn down. Bayern and City are the best 2 teams. They both went out in the quarters. We have got to take advantage. Let's see what we can put out today. It is sold out in Bournemouth. They've got Antonio Carlos in centre midfield, our former man from Manchester United. They've also got a number of names that we've come up against before whilst there. So let's go and get through the team selection, see which 11 we can put out. And I think for the first time in a very long time, we've actually got a full first 11. We might have had it in the first leg as well. I'm trying to think. We've brought in 3 changes for this one, both in centre midfield. We've gone for Joaquin and Znaiba. They come in for Kelvin Santos and for Scal the fullback. And of course, we've brought in Koomson on the right for Gruznov, who's both injured and unregistered for this competition. The 2 youngsters are back on the bench. That's Kotha and Giano. But the rest of the team, it stays the same. We know what our best 11 is now. But can it be enough to reach the Champions League final? An opportunity at a double still beckons. Let's hope we can get closer today. Well, here is the team with 5 changes for Bournemouth. On the bench is Neto, who we briefly managed at Palace. He was sold in that first window. Plitko is dropped as well, which seems very odd. He must be injured. Let's get through the dressing room. Let's tell the lads to prove a point, get them all motivated for the night. I'm just seeing if they're playing their 4-4-2 again. They are, but they've not got Plitko, who is their pacing behind. I have just checked, he is injured, so they're missing him and their first choice left back. Del Mario is still pretty quick and still very good in fairness, and Kovac much the same. But I'm not going to take the gamble here. I'm not going to make all the big tactical changes. I'm just going to drop to balanced. I might leave the fullbacks on defend. Do I put them back? Yes, I do. We're going to put them to defensive duties, but I'm not going to make the changes to the defensive line that I did for the ultra-quick Plitko last week. Let's go and get into the second leg. It is a very big game for us, this one. Hopefully we can see our way through. Let's cue the music, then get into the first half. Well, here we go, straight from the kickoff, which always fills me with a little bit of dread, I can't lie. Amidovic gets it at right back to Castellano. Carries it inside the pitch into Kovac. We've still got to watch out here. Just want an early goal to settle the nerves, really, but that's unlikely against a level of opposition like this. We didn't play well against them last time, and it could get even worse. It's still pinball in the 6-yard box. How on earth did that stay out? And what on earth are we doing at the back? Oh, it's a big ball forward. Sciano's there. Canales can't get on the end of it. Not the best start to the match, that. And the nerves are going to be jangling this evening because I can see us being under a lot of pressure. Castellano in. Andre Luiz with the header. It is straight at Elijah Smith. Either side, I think that was 1-0 as well. We've had 3 great chances in a couple of highlights. That's not ideal. As Steinkert gets the ball to Nlapo and Sniper. Now can we hit with a sucker punch? No. Brewerton gives it away. Castellano over halfway. We've got men back, but we're not really closing them down. Through to Del Mario. Cross to Kovac. Where's the defence? It doesn't matter. Because Elijah Smith is the only line we need. Another world-class save. And it's back to Parzo, the left-back for Bournemouth. They're coming forward again. This one's over the bar. I thought these guys were all motivated at the start. Are they going to wake up at some point? Bournemouth dominant, although we've had more of the ball. And it looks like, despite us not dropping that defensive line, they are forcing us back pretty quickly. We've got half an hour gone. We've managed to hold on so far. And while it's not been a very good performance, we did the job at home. So all we've got to do here is just hold them off. And I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that. I might have to put the fullbacks back here because we are struggling a bit. As Carlos gives it away to Sniper. He then just stands still. Decides that, oh, I've won the ball. Now I'm just going to stand still and let it go past me. Parzo picks the ball up on the left. Gets to the byline. Chance to cross. It's going to be another goal caused by our own mistakes. Castellano to his fullback. Good block. Still up in the air. Sniper heads to Carlos. Back into Del Mario. Back to Francois. Chips over the top. 1-0. Must be offside. Must be offside, but the flag isn't up. And normally when that's the case, the goal stands. I'm so angry at this performance because it's not what we do. And it annoys me that in the big games, you're always going to get the predictable. I'm surprised we haven't had the stupid red card in the middle of the pitch yet for a pathetic lunge. But into the second half we go. We're under pressure. We're not playing well. And I don't really know what to say. This is what I expect to happen because we just don't turn up for the big occasion. Header just over the bar. And if we cling on, it will be due to Bournemouth's missed chances and nothing that we've done. Just over 10 gone in the second half. We've held on so far. And now Sniper has got a golden chance. Edge of the box free kick. It said that wasn't far away at all. I think I might be going blind because it looked miles away to me. Sciano gets the ball to Carlos, our former player. We've seen Lindoso cause us trouble with Juve. Will he do the same here? Kovac in midfield. Back to Sciano again. I mean, they're just so confident on the ball. Can you tell that we're playing a high-pressing game? Because I certainly can't. And Lapo wins it back for Joaquin, though, to Brewerton. Hero from the first leg finds Koomson. Over to Canales. Was he onside? Doesn't matter. Put it wide anyway. His finishing this last month or two. I genuinely don't know what's happened to him. We've got just over 20 to go. And I'm going to make some changes here in attacking areas because Olaizola will replace Mulder. On the right-hand side, Koomson will be replaced by Mugnai. And Brewerton is going to be replaced by Cardon. All of the attacking midfield 3. We've got to protect fitness here as well. We've got 20 to go. We're holding on. And at the moment, a Champions League final beckons. Will Bournemouth run out of steam? And can we get the sucker punch dealt? As Joaquin gets it wide to Van der Plume. Into Joaquin again. Back to Merville. On the ball to Van der Plume. Options inside of him. One of them's Joaquin. Chips over the top. It's a brilliant ball for Olaizola. Oh, he's straight at the keeper. I praised him at the weekend because he's popped up with so many big goals. And then on this occasion, oh, he's dealt us with that finish. Pathetic. Kovac gets in. Well dealt with Nlapo. Steinker down the right to Joaquin. And now Mugnai to Steinker. Joaquin up to Cardon. We've got support from Sniper. Options right and middle. Canales is onside. Canales finishes in style. The right back played him on. And this time he makes no mistake. He's had a stinking game, but this is why we leave him on, because he's capable of that moment. And now we should be through. Cardon gives the ball away, but he wins it back. Finds Steinker. Now Bournemouth will come forward. Surely chances will open up. Cardon with an awful pass. It's cleared downfield. Del Mario flicks it on. But we get there first with Sniper, who has been brilliant. Steinker up to Mugnai. Down it goes for Josvik. Joaquin wins it high. Mugnai's got options in the middle. Sniper's one. Releases Mugnai again. Mugnai into the corner. And Sniper has turned on the style. We said he's the best player we were going to manage in this save. The first half of the year, he spent most of it sitting on the physio bench. But now, in this deeper role, he's found his fitness, he's found his form, and he has found us a place in a Champions League final. Let's see this corner out and then we'll make changes. As Francois puts it in, well dealt with Elijah Smith. Now I'm excited. What a week it's been. Elijah Smith with the ball in goal. Take your time, kick it long. There we go. Up towards the centre forward, headed away straight to Cardon. Through ball to Canales, he's in again. Bournemouth have gone forward and they've left everyone up. And now we've got a a penalty kick. And that's got to be a yellow card. I know it was a genuine attempt to win the ball. We're not going to get the red. But a penalty is given. Canales has a chance at a brace. And if he scores it, Sniper can go off for a rest, which in a Champions League semi-final would be remarkable. Canales makes it 3-1 on the night. Get in there. Champions League final, here we come. Sniper, you beautiful man. Off you go for your Hansen, hero from the Juve game. And Scout on for Van der Plume. We've got to think about the weekend now. We cannot afford to slip up against Paderborn. So let's get some players rested. Inter Milan v Borussia Dortmund incoming. The champions of Italy v the potential champions of Germany. For a chance to have that name engraved on the trophy. We are there with a 3-1 win. What a late turnaround. What a moment. We're in the Champions League final. Now can we win the Bundesliga? Well, it's going to be a fun old end to the season, isn't it? Let's go and praise the lads. They've been brilliant. And have a look at the schedule when we're going to be back. Well, it's a very simple equation from here. We have got to win 3 league games and we win the Bundesliga because the goal difference will not get overturned here. I would expect us to beat Paderborn. We'll play that game off camera. Buy another late kickoff that day, but it doesn't really matter what happens because either way, we're not going to be top going into Tuesday night. That is the game that is going to decide the title, or is it? Because we win it, we've still got to go away to Leverkusen and get the result there. So we are going to be back next episode, Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen. See if we can win the Bundesliga. What a title decider that is, by the way. And then the final episode of the season will be the Champions League final. I want to give that its due. We'll do that with the season review because it is going to be a massive moment for this series. If we can finish with this after the years of frustration at Manchester United, we'll almost have to thank John for driving us away. We won the European Championships with England at international level. Now can we replicate that feat in the Champions League at club level? I hope you'll join me over the next 2 episodes to find out. This season could yet end up being a grand finale to this entire save. If you want to find out if it is, and you did enjoy those 2 pretty eventful games in that episode, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know if you think we'll win one, both or neither, and of course come and join me to find out. If you want to make sure you don't miss it, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts every time a new episode is released, and hopefully it'll be some successful ones over the next few days. If you've missed any of the action in the eye above, you can find the Build a Nation save, our top 3s and recent other one-offs, as well as the Twitch channel and the football podcast. F1 Manager on the way on Twitch, a new season on the way on the podcast, loads of predictions to come. It's going to be a great couple of weeks. I hope you're looking forward to it as much as me, but thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you next time for a big title decider. I don't think they get much bigger than this, do they?